Hi, this is Mashnu, and here is the first example of positional sacrifices in chess. Now, before we start, I would like to tell you about how we learn chess. There are actually two ways of learning chess. One of them is passive learning and the other one is active learning. Now, you may have noticed that in my videos there is always a point when I ask you to pause the video and think for yourself, to think about the position as if you were playing the game. As if it was your game and you were trying to find what the best move is. Now, at that moment, actually the process of active learning starts. And even if you don't find the complete answer, even if you don't find the best move at all, you will be improving your chess. Because this exercise is about thinking and calculating and thinking about the position, and well, actually it's a way of training, and that's very fruitful, much more than passive learning. I mean, learning passively would mean to watch the video from beginning to the end without thinking, simply consuming the explanation. And yes, you will learn some things, surely, but much less than if you really take your time to pause the video and think first for yourself. Alright, after this explanation I would like to start now with this one. It's from a game, this position from a game that was played by Viktor Korchnoi with white, and he was playing against Yuri Balashov. It was played in Moscow 1971. It's white to move here, so this is the moment now to pause the video and have a good thought here. I'll continue the explanation in a few seconds. Alright, so let's have a look what happened here. What's black threatening? Well, clearly knight to b3, forking queen and rook. Perhaps also it's interesting for black to take this this bishop on d3, to have the pair of bishops. How to prevent this? Well, a very natural way is to play bishop to c2, to guard, to control this b3 square. Also bishop to c4 would have the same idea. Now, what Korchnoi did was actually a very interesting thing. He played the move b2 to b4, and this is a move I'll show you on the board that has actually a hidden attacking idea. b4 forks the two black pieces, so black is actually forced to take this pawn. This is the positional sacrifice in this position. And what have we gained? Well, the idea of white is actually to trap this queen with rook f to b1. But now at this moment the queen would go back then to a5, and then will be able to escape to d8 or c7. So the second move is a very beautiful one. Before playing rook f to b1, Korchnoi played the move pawn to a5, and this is a wonderful idea. This is actually the clue of the first move b2 b4, because now the queen, the black queen, is not able to escape, almost not able. a5 is not longer available, and b6 is also taken by white. Black found here a way to try to escape. But first, let's have a look at what would happen if black would have played knight to b3, attacking the queen and the rook. Well, then we have queen to b2, for example, and now this knight cannot take here because the queen hangs, and the next move will be, for example, rook to a4 or rook to b1, and then white will win material, clearly. So let's return, because what black found here is another thing. Black sacrificed a piece by playing bishop to h6. Now this looks as a very strange move, sacrificing a piece on h6. What does he want? Well, what black wants is to deflect the bishop on e3 from the defense of the square d4. So after bishop takes h6, this was played in the game, there is a possible check on d4, so the queen can escape. In this position, black first played knight to b3, attacking the queen, attacking the rook, so the queen went to b2. Now black gave this check on d4, and we see that after this check the bishop on d3 is hanging as well. So this needs a really very accurate calculation. Rook to f2 was played by white, and now black took the rook on a1, and then white took the rook on f8. Bishop takes f8. Now we see that if we count the pieces, is that white has won a piece. Now if black would take the the bishop on f8, this didn't happen in the game, but if, then we see actually the difference between that attacked piece and this one on a1, that is that this knight is not able to escape because b3 and c2 are taken. So what white does here is first bringing his own bishop in safety to f1, and then after this white will take the knight on a1 and will be a piece up. Now in the game something different happened. Actually black didn't take the bishop on f8, but he played h4, attacking the knight on g3, but then the last move of the game, Victor Korchnoi simply brought that knight to e2, and here the game was over. Because here, if now black takes on d3, then simply first white brings his own bishop in safety, for example by taking on d6, and still this knight here is in trouble. If it goes to c2, we have a beautiful move to win this knight, and that is knight from e2 to c1, attacking the queen and attacking 2 times this knight on c2. So, well, quite a complicated example, but the most important thing in this series is to understand the start of this variation. I'll go back to the initial position now. So here, to understand that this move b4 can only be found if we understand that we need to try to trap this queen. Actually, the queen is in let's say all alone in the enemy camp, with all these pieces around it, and there is no way to escape. And this is the position that we should try to see in our mind before playing b4. Well, I hope you found this a nice example. I'm going to search for much more and many more examples of positional sacrifices. I hope to make a good selection, to have a beautiful series of this important element of chess. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.